Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about two families. We are going to talk about, first of all, Pleasant, the Pleasant household with Elias Pleasant. And because he's only a one-person family, it's going to be quickly, but he is kind of an important part of this family, who is Payten Dreamer. Those two are best friends, so I feel like he is pretty much a part of this family. He's just living in his own apartment. But I will tell you a little bit more about them when we get into the families. So let's do that now. So this is hopefully gonna be a little bit more of a happy story, but it's not gonna be the most happy anyways. But here we have Elias Pleasant. So this is a Pleasant household. He is living in this apartment. He moved into this apartment with his stepsister Payten. As you can see, he is the son of Angela and Corey. Angela Pleasant, now Dreamer, and Corey Landchild. You're not gonna meet Corey per se because I'm not really playing him anymore. I'm just growing him up slowly and letting him move, like visit community lots and stuff like that, because I don't feel like I have so many families and he's not important for my story anymore. um, he has his half brother Ulrich, of course, and then he has his stepsister Payten Dreamer. And Payten is his best friend, and they have always been best friends. They went to college together, and after college, they moved into this apartment together. But as you can see, he is now living here alone, and that is because she fell into a pregnancy and stuff happened, so she needed to move out. So let's see how Elias has taken that. Here we have a little bit of a closer look on Elias. Elias, he is gay, and as you can see, he has some strong facial features. I don't know what exactly happened, but I guess the mix of Angela and Corey was, mm, if you can say, an interesting mix. I actually feel like he looks quite handsome. It's just very different than many of the others. He is a fortune sim, and I think he always been a fortune sim. No, he actually was a knowledge sim before, but is now a fortune. Um, he is quite sloppy. He's quite active. No, outgoing. He's active. He's very playful and quite grouchy. His bio says Elias just remembers his parents fighting constantly. Even when they finally broke up, they fought. But when his mom got together with Dirk Dreamer, he met Payten. From there, he knew she would always will always have his back, and he would always have hers. Being gay has been hard, but he has found peace, and his family is super supportive. Though he fears the day Payten finds a man, and he might not. Yeah, so Elias' biggest fear is not finding love. And maybe his biggest fear isn't necessarily not finding love, but being left behind. Because his whole childhood and teenage years and even college, he and Payten were constantly together. They were the most closest friends ever. No one could separate them at all, and when they moved here, everything was good. They always had each other's back. She helped him with the whole a little bit awkward situation with Sam Broke when they were together, and she helped him through college, and he helped her through a lot of other things. Payten, I think Payten always helped him a little bit more because Payten was quite a strong woman, is quite a strong woman, and is, yeah, she has a lot of Lilith in her, but with like more she's rebellious like Lilith, but she has the cleverness as from her dad Dirk. But now Elias is living here alone. He's still living as a young adult, even though he is adult. He is smoking a lot and he's going out quite often. Um, if we look at his who he finds attractive, there isn't a lot. He really likes Oma Swain, so I guess at some point, if they meet each other, they're gonna have a fling. He still likes Sam a lot. They broke up as friends because Elias needed to go to college, and Elias didn't find it being so harsh when Sam got with Ulrich because Elias understood that Sam really needed someone who loved him. So I feel like Elias is just accepting of that. And in the end, Payten is more important for him. Other than that, there isn't many others to choose from. There is, of course, Laurentines. I think maybe could be a good match for Elias, but at this point, he's not really. Yeah, he's dreaming on marrying rich, but nothing more than that, honestly. If we look into his memories, we can see his first memory was Lilith dying. He got born almost the same, not the same day, but at least in the same round as Payten, so they had a lot to do with each other. Maybe even the same day. They are almost the same age, at least. His parents got divorced shortly after he got. I actually think they divorced on his birthday to growing into a child. So his memories from that is not too well. That he even grew up well is quite amazing. I feel like he was a good friend with. He was good friends with his father, and I think he still is. Yeah, they haven't been speaking for a long time, but he never like he at that back then he didn't understand what was happening, of course, and who started the fights was both of them. It wasn't the aggressor wasn't necessarily one of them. They were both really toxic towards each other. Um, so and in the teen years he was talking about Payten about the problem a lot, and Payten kind of understood why Corey was mad, and she understood why Angela did what she did, and she made Elias understand too, so he just have a big love for both of his parents. In his teen years, he of course had the fling with Sam. They were together for a little bit. I even think yeah, they were really much together, but I think they also went steady. No, I remember wrong. I guess Sam only went steady with Ulrich, but I guess that was also because Elias was going to college in a bit, and Sam still had a couple of years before he went to college. So in college, he changed his aspiration to fortune. Not that it made such big of a difference in his personality, because well, there's of course a big difference between a knowledge and a fortune, but I feel like he already had that interest in money, and knowledge was just something that he still has to this day. He moved out, and shortly after he moved in with Payten in this house, I'm pretty sure. And from there, they just had their life together. They had some family reunions. He apparently got struck by lightning. Um, I don't know what this is about. I don't remember. I think it might have been his turn ons and turn offs that I changed. Nope, it wasn't. Maybe a mistake. I don't know. But that is kind of where he is now. He was really sad when Payten moved out, and I feel like he is struggling a little bit with feelings of betrayal. Like he understands, of course, Payten needed to move out and needed to take care of these kids that was suddenly here because she had the kids here. So he met her children. I feel like you can even, yeah, one of them is there and the other one is there. Um, so he was taking care of them when they were small babies, when they were just when they just had been born. He helped Payten with taking care of them, but shortly after, she told him that she needed to move out. The baby daddy wanted to move in together. She wasn't sure that he was the one she loved, but it was a co-worker, so she knew him quite well, and they were good friends. So she felt safe doing that. And Elias was, of course, supportive, as he always was and always will be. But in his heart and in like back in his head, he felt a little bit betrayed because now he is alone and he isn't sure what he's gonna do. And I think he is a little bit afraid that Payten is gonna forget him and he's gonna be completely alone. So yeah, we will see what is gonna happen with him. I'm pretty sure that Payten is not gonna leave him, but I fear that his not jealousy, but his feeling of betrayal will stand in the way. But we will see. And here we have the, I think, last dreamer household, at least for now. In this household, we have Payten Dreamer, who I told you a little bit about before. This is the house she moved into after she got her two first set of twins. Um, she she oh, I need to find her. There we go. Here we have Payten. She met her colleague Mike Tinger, who is a family sim. Of course, through work, they're colleagues. And they had like some going out and being friendly with each other, and in the end, they went on some dates, and that turned out well, these dates they weren't well. Of course, they liked each other and they had a crush on each other, but nothing more than that, not necessarily. But in the end, they ended up getting pregnant together. And Payten started actually freaking a little bit out about this because they weren't married. She wasn't even sure that this was a man she wanted to live with for the rest of her life or anything like that. She really liked him, but it was a colleague, and she was just in the beginning of her life, and he was much older than her, and so she wasn't sure that this was the way she wanted to go. But well, she got pregnant, and there wasn't much to do about it. She got her first couple of kids, who is Patrick Dreamer and Rachel Dreamer. And because of this, she told Mike that they needed to move in. He needed to step in and be a dad to these kids because she couldn't stand with it by herself. He was luckily really understanding of this, and honestly, I think he was a little bit happy about it because he hadn't been able to find that family and finding a wife or anything. So at least here he could have some kids he could be with, and his own. And when they moved in together, not way too long after, they started flirting again. And even though they wasn't sure they should be together, those two, they woohooed again, and it resulted into more kids. And both of them are twins, and it is Albert Dreamer and Balian Dreamer. Which wasn't planned either. So after that, I don't remember if Mike in the, uh, asked for marriage before the twins were born, but at least it was around the same time because at that point it was like, well, we need to do something here because it's not we have kids together, we need to just stay together, it's fine, and we like each other, so what is the problem? But yeah, let's look a little bit closer to the Sims. So here we have Mike. He is a family Sim. He is the son of Wanda and Stefan Tinker. He is one of the two twin boys they had, Mike and Melde, and he's the younger sibling of Melody. He is quite younger, quite more old than Payten is, as you can see. She has 27 days left, and he has 16. So this was kind of in the last moment that he got that family he really wanted. This is a one that he has had for a long, long time. In that sense, he reminds me a lot about Billy Broke. But I think maybe this is actually gonna happen for him. um, his personality is he's really neat. He's really shy. He is really active. He's a little bit more playful than serious, and he is grouchy. I don't. Oh, he actually has a bio. Mike isn't sure what he's gonna do. He just want his own big family, but he over and over got just disappointed. Has just gotten disappointed. Never found the one. Even his brother has been more lucky. What is Mike doing wrong? Will it will it happen soon? Will he get his family? Well, he got his family. Maybe not in the way that he had hoped, but he got it. His brother Mike, as we know, already got married a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but got married to Hope now Tinker. And at that point, Mike were like, "What the heck? I am the family sim in this family. Why is it not possible for me to get any love here?" His first kiss was apparently a teen called Kaya. It was in his teen years. Um, he in college when he went to college, like in the teen years, it apparently nothing big happened. He was just with his brother having some parties. They had a lot of parties in the Tinker household. Apparently a lousy one, but they also had. He went to prom with Tammy. I guess they were really good friends. Yeah, they were really good friends, but nothing more than that. At least not at that point. He went to college, where he found Luna, had his first kiss, and he fell in love. And he, at that point, was sure that, oh, this is the lady I'm gonna marry. But then she kissed, probably Benjamin. It could also have been a flirt with his brother. At least those three guys were fighting about her the whole college round through. Um, but mostly Mike and Benjamin. Um, but at least he graduated at last, and he moved out. He moved into the one of the. I think he actually moved back home with Melde, but seeing that Melody had taken over and their parents died shortly after, he chose to move out and live in one of the bigger apartments. Um, Here in this apartment, he were living with his brother. His neighbor was Brianna. She was at that point just an adult. They had kisses and love and all this, and they got engaged. He got the wand quite quickly. I guess he felt like this. It was time to get a move on. He needed that big family, but he got left by the altar. So he got really pissed. They got really mad at each other. And them being neighbors, they constantly fought, and they were disagreeing each other. But the person that actually took that the worst way was his brother Malde. Malde really hated Rihanna, um, and as you can see, Mike really hated Hope. So it's kind of interesting that Malde ended up being with Hope. At the same time, no, shortly after, he had a date with Skylar, and they had some kisses and were together, but I don't think much more happened than that. Because Skylar shortly after found her way back to Noah, and they got together. So once more, Mike was just the one left out, and he felt like, oh, okay, well, god damn it. Then he found Cynthia. That was when Cynthia was trying to get out of the relationship with Omar. Um, and now I hope I tell the story right, because in my head, I know I have had two different stories, but I feel like the story I went with in the end, and that is maybe not true. But in the story I feel like I ended with was that he oh, we're not even at that point yet. Well, he met Cynthia. They had a good grade and they fell in love. And she rejected. Apparently, she rejected his proposal. But in the end, they ended up actually uh, being engaged. Um, as you can see at this point, he haven't even really had anything to do with Payten. I think they met, but it was around here. But no love, at least. They had just been co-workers until now. But he was sure that Cynthia was going to be the girl he needed to pursue. So he ended up actually getting engaged to her. She said yes. I guess that this has been after her being mad at Omar being with other women. But at the same time, even though they were engaged, he had more to do with Payten. So much that he actually fell in love with her. Which ended up being an affair. They had kisses, and he kind of just completely forgot about Cynthia because he really liked this girl. She was hardcore. They were both in the military career, and he just felt like she was so cool and so nice. He really liked her. So they had a really good first date where they woohooed, and that ended up being two kids out of that. And this is where I mean with my story, what I think, what I feel like I had two different stories, but I feel like this is the right one. I need to look back at the the story with Cynthia and Omar, if that's also the story I told there, or if that's the old story. But I feel like the story here is that after he got the kids, he agreed with Payten that they needed to move in. He couldn't just leave Payten with two kids at once, and she asked for the help. So he was like, okay, well, this is what we're gonna do, and I wanted a big family, and he really liked her, so why not? But he also knew that he needed to end things off with Cynthia. I feel like Payten knew about Cynthia and she apologized for everything, but well, they had an affair anyway, so maybe that wasn't going to be the best marriage from the beginning. So he ended up breaking up with Cynthia, telling her that, well, he had two kids with another woman, so this wouldn't go. And I think what I actually told in the household with Cynthia was that Cynthia broke up with him because of her not being sure with Omar. But I feel like I need to check up on that. So if I feel like this is the true story, this is the story I also told in that part of the video or last video, however I'm gonna edit this, or and if it's not this story, I'm gonna write it on the screen. He of course lost his friendship with Cynthia because that made her really mad. Who wouldn't be mad about that? And then he ended up going steady with Payten, and they even got engaged. I feel like he had the want to ask her for the engagement, so they needed to go steady first. And shortly after, she was. I feel like she was pregnant when he asked her, and that would have been perfect timing because that would make him feel like I need to be engaged to this woman. She's gonna have at least three of my kids, so it would make sense. Three kids was then four. So yeah, they ended up getting twins again. Um, he finally got his big family he wanted, and it was apparently with a much younger woman, but they're gonna have a good family. When she had the birth, I don't quit without saving, even with the birth, but I really wanted the last skin tone, and I think I quit like out of the game like 5 or 6 times, but the skin tones were always the same. So even though I wanted some of the darker skin tones, that just didn't happen. So we will see if they're gonna get more kids, and maybe, hopefully, it could be the darker skin, because I feel like we have a lot with the third skin, but not many with the fourth, and I kind of want more with the fourth. But yeah, we got 4 kids here with the third skin, and the third skin is really nice too. So I guess it's okay. I just want more diversity. I guess. So yeah, that was Mike. So let's talk about Payten. And here we have Payten. Payten reminds me so much of Lilith. She is for sure a mix of Lilith and Dirk. She is so beautiful, and she is one of my favorite Sims ever. I feel like she looks so cute, cool, and I love her dreadlocks. I feel like it fits her so well. Um, and I don't know, it is. She just looks so nice. So yeah, she is a knowledge sim. Oh yeah, maybe I'm gonna tell you, she is the daughter of Lilith and Dirk. If you couldn't see that, I would say at least Lilith is really strong in her features. But yeah, she is a knowledge sim. She is really sloppy. She is quite shy. She is active, playful, and grouchy. Um, Her bio says, um, Payton was a blessing for Dirk, but at the same time, a constant reminder of the woman he lost. And Payton is very much aware of this. Her dad always loved her and did everything for her to have a good life. Well, she had a good life. Had a good life too. She is best friends with Elias, and things are just going good. But something is missing, and she see her dad missing something too. Um, Peyton was always really aware that she lost her mother because she was born. Uh, she never blamed herself for it in any way. Dirk was really good at telling her that everything was okay and it wasn't her fault at all. And he was really good at telling her how much she looked like Lilith, and tell her all the good thing about Lilith, and what a strong woman she was. And I feel like that really strengthened Peyton's um, bond to Dirk, but also strengthened Peyton's um, conscience and stuff like that. Like, she is really independent. She is strong. She love herself. She really wants to succeed in life, but on her own terms. And I feel like that is because of Dirk's way of telling about her mother. Um, but she, at the same time, still feel this. She always knew that her father missed her mother. Even though he was with Angela and they were really happy together, she always knew that. Well, everyone knew that if Lilith ever came back, Dirk would jump straight into her arms. They were just meant to be, always. And Peyton, I think she will never completely stop worrying about her dad missing her mother so much. Not She doesn't really miss her mother because she had a good mother figure in Angela, but and knowing so much about her mother was enough for her. But she, at this point, at least felt like she was missing something, and she wasn't sure why. Having this big family, I'm not sure that was what she was missing, but at least that's something to fill up the time with. She was actually living as a young adult, just as Elias, before she had all the kids, and she was ready to live a long adult life with just her best friend Elias, and living like almost like teenagers, just being able to drink, I guess. um, so yeah, I don't think she had a lot of flirts or anything. She of course have Mike here. I know she had a flirt with Omar at some point, but other than that, I don't feel she had a lot. We can look into her memories. Yeah, she also remembered Bria. Um, yeah, here we have. Oh yeah, by the way, I think she was actually a fortune sim before. Yeah, her and Elias just swapped around their aspiration because she was fortune and he was knowledge. And when they went to college, they swapped around. So in that sense, they are really the same. But yeah, in her memories, she of course had everything as a kid. She moved in. Let's see. Bum bum bum. Of course, Lilith dying. Dirk had took really good care of her. When he got married, she was really happy to meet Angela. That was the closest to a Lilith she could get, anyways. And then she met Elias, and they quickly grow really good friends. This was Ali, but they really quickly, they always played in the back garden in the apartments, and they were just really good friends so quickly. Then they moved to the trailer that Lilith, no, not Angela and Dirk is living in now, um, where she just kept going, being a good, person. When I think she grew up 1 or 2 days before Elias, so they're really close in age. And as soon he grew up, they went to the bowling alley only for the teenagers, and there she met Omar, and they had a big and fun night together where they were really together. And at that point, I feel like she just had fun, honestly. I don't even feel that, yeah, you can see it took a long time before she actually fell in love. She snuck out a couple of times and got caught by the police because of it, but she just had a lot of time with him. Um, so she was best friends with Elias in the day and best friends with Omar in the night, pretty much. Um, she got a little crush on him, but nothing more really happened from there. Darren, of course, died, but because Dirk never really did much to keep that dreamer bond, she didn't have much to do with Darren, which was a little bit sad. I feel like she could have learned a little bit from them, but it is what it is. um, and not long after, she moved to college, and that was with Elias. They had the whole college round together, as you can see, and Bria and Brent was there too. So it was a lot of Sims in the same that like that were kind of family but in the same, but yeah, that was where she actually got to know her uncle and aunt, and they were almost in the same age, so it was kind of interesting. And she changed her aspiration. After college, she moved out and moved in with Elias, of course, and got a job. And from there, they just had a lot of fun. So as you can see, she only had Omar in her teen years, and from there she just focused on friendship. She never really went too much into a lot of love and romance, but friendship was just more her, and that was mostly with Elias. She fell in love with Mike though, and the rest of the story you have already heard. Um, she is a little bit worried about Elias, if he understands that of course she's still gonna be around, and I feel like every time the kids are gonna grow up, she's gonna invite him, and make sure that he is there for them, and I think she really wants him to be a part of her kids' lives, so she's gonna do her best to make Elias feel like they are still as close as before. But yeah, that was Payten. Let's talk a little bit about the two twins, and then shortly about the last two set of twins. And let's start with Rachel. She is a Sagittarius. She is quite sloppy. She is outgoing, active, playful, and in the middle of grouchy and nice. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer to her so we can actually look at her little cute face. Um, it's so fiddly. So yeah, this is Rachel. She's so cute. I feel like I'm so excited to see how she looks when she gets older. I feel like with Payten's really Lily-ish features and really she's a dream to look at, and Mike is a little bit more. Uh, Mike is like many of the other Blue Water Village Sims. They have a special look at them, but I at this point actually kind of like that things are so different that they are not looking as perfect as many of the Pleasantview Sims does. Um, so I think they are gonna have some gorgeous kids together. At least for now, they already have. But that was Rachel. So let's look at Patrick. He is he's right here. He is in the middle of sloppy and neat. That's rare. You see that. He's a little bit more shy. He's a little bit more active. He is playful and he's very nice. Let's see if we can see him a little bit more up close. Yeah, see, he looks so much more different than his sister does. I don't know. I like his face, but I also really like Rachel's face. But they look so different to each other. Them being twins, they really don't look like twins. But I guess that's just how Sims are. Um, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, she's so cute. Like I really love toddlers when they. No, listen, they're gonna be gorgeous kids. They're gonna look so good when they grow up. Oh, can I find? He moved. Here we go. Oh. Okay, so let's look at the other two kids. Oh, there is some feeding. Um, so here we have Balian Dreamer that almost just got born. It looks like he is a redhead, so there is at least some Lilith coming in. He is brown haired. I guess that is from. I'm not sure. A recessive gene somewhere. Because Rachel is. I don't even know if this is okay to show. It's blurred. It should be okay. A woman feeding her child should be okay. um, but yeah, she's black haired, and the last Alva is, I guess, also brown haired, I feel like. So I think we have two brown haired, one red head, and a black haired. So that's really nice. I'm looking forward to how it continues to be. So yeah. That was the last Dreamer household, Dreamer slash Tinker. I'm pretty sure they are taking the Dreamer name when they get married, because Mike, I feel like he would do that for Payten, and Mike isn't really that bound to the Tinker name. So yeah. And that was everything I had for you guys today. This is the third last video for this series. We have 2 videos left, and that will mean 3 families because I have 2 families that can be in one. So I'm so thankful if you have stuck around for this long. It has been some long videos, and it has been well, it has taken such a long time for me to edit in this, and I hope it's been okay for you guys that I put them into different videos, because or else it would have been like so many hours if it was only 1 or 2, 3 maybe videos. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!